Velkomin aftur í föstudagsþáttinn. Við ætlum að enda þáttinn á að hitta mann sem staddur hérna á Akureyri að spila í kabarett. Hann heitir Philip J. Doyle og hann doktor í tónlist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
A doctor in musical arts.
Yes.
What does that mean? Can you play everything?
No, definitely not. I wish I could, but it's just, it's a term for a broad spectrum of academic studies and performance studies in music.
Many years in school.
Well, actually, a lot of years outside of school as well. But the last 4 years, I came back to the University of Miami and I finished the doctoral program.
Yeah.
Which was a 3-year program, but I took an extra year to finish the dissertation.
And you majored in
performance. Yeah, it was always performance. From a bachelor's degree to the master's degree, it was always performance. Okay. And I was usually teaching along with the
And
degree.
does that mean that you can play one or more instruments?
Well, so a performance degree, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, it covers everything in, music theory, it covers basic pedagogy, it covers, a lot of core curriculum courses, but the focus is always on performance. So, I was lucky enough to start doing that when I was about 19, 20. I was on tour with Casey and the Sunshine Band, actually before I finished school. And then I came back and finished it later, and then just realized that, alongside a performing career in an academic career, you have to go for the top degree to be competitive. I also taught at a university for 2 years. I was the interim director of jazz studies and lecturer of saxophone at Eastern Washington University. And that was when I only had a master's. So that was part of the reason I went back to school to finish that.
And what is your instrument?
The main instrument is the tenor saxophone. That's the one. And I can play the soprano, I can play the alto. I try to avoid the baritone saxophone because it's like 90 pounds. So anytime somebody says, do you play bari? I said, not really, no thanks. I play flute and clarinet as well. Yeah. The cabaret show has clarinet, and I'm playing soprano, clarinet, and tenor in that show.
Okay, great. And it's funny, Iceland, Akureyri, how come you're here?
Okay, so I told a very good friend of mine, Einar Scheving, who is also someone who I consider to be one of the best drummers I've ever played with, because we had met at the University of Miami when I was a freshman. He was getting his master's degree. So I've known him for about 17 years. And I mentioned to him, well, I'm finishing up my degree. Maybe I should just come hang out in Iceland for a little while.
Yeah.
And, we were just sort of casually talking about it. And then a few weeks later, I think it was, he said that there was this show going on all the way through February. And I said, well, let's go for it. So
here you are.
Yeah, and it's my third
Einar
time back.
Scheving's fault.
It's Einar's fault.
Thanks
to him. Absolutely. But yeah, it's my third time back, and I came here for the jazz festival, the Reykjavik Jazz Festival in 2014, and then came back last year around the same time for a few things. And I love it here.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing place.
You love Iceland or you love Akureyri?
I got to tell you, I like Akureyri very much. And I just came back from Reykjavik, and it's actually very refreshing to be back in Akureyri.
What is it here, do you think?
First of all, when I wake up in the morning and I look around me, I see these amazing snow-covered mountains everywhere. And, I'm always fond of calmer towns. Like this is sort of like I would liken this to a ski town, in the States, like in Colorado or something. Where it's a very mellow atmosphere, and I love it. And the people are incredible. I mean, the people I consider to be amazing all throughout Iceland. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I fell in love with the place, because I just saw so much. I just saw a much easier going, more lighthearted, happier approach to life in general. I mean, it was the first time I encountered this idea of Eckart Moll, right? Am I saying that right? Eckart Moll, or how do you say no problem in Icelandic?
No, Eckart Moll.
Eckart Moll.
Eckart Moll. Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was the coolest philosophy, right? And I actually took it home with me. And, for weeks I was thinking about this, like, wow, this is a really cool way of looking at things, just Eckart Moll. You know what else I love? Theta Redest, am I saying that right?
Okay, you love that.
That's a good one too, that's great. These are all just, beautiful philosophies and.
And then there's one more thing you mentioned, something about the gene memory.
Yeah, I don't know if this is right.
No, but tell us.
But I'll just go ahead and say it. So my name is Doyle, which is Irish, but in Gaelic, where that name comes from is O'Dougal, and I'm probably not saying that correctly. But what that actually means is dark stranger, and that actually means Viking. So. I don't know if this is true, but apparently somebody mentioned that there's this thing called gene memory, where if you have some history or some sort of heritage in your genes, that can it can awaken or remember or something. So the first time I was here, and I've traveled all over the world. I've been to Denmark, I've been to Sweden. I felt a little bit of this same kind of thing in Denmark when I saw some of the, I think they were maybe just habitats. They weren't really castles, but they're sort of indents in the earth. I felt something just sort of interesting, you know, just some feeling that I can't really describe. And I felt that the same way when I was here. And actually every time I've been here, it's just
your Viking genes were awakened.
I hope that's what it is, you know. It's just something, I just think it's a magical place, you know. I saw the Northern Lights just a few nights after we got to Akureyri.
For the first time?
All across the sky. Actually, not for the first time. The first time I saw the Northern Lights, and I'm sorry for anybody who goes on these tours and spends the money going out to try and see the Northern Lights and they don't see it. The first time I saw them was at Harpa in Reykjavik. And I was actually with Einar, and we were just headed to a performance. And so we were by the dock, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he said, hey, you know, get off your phone, you know, because we're always on our phones, right? He said, get off your phone and go look outside. And the entire sky was lit up. It was incredible. And
in Reykjavik, you could even see it.
It was right on the water. And you know, it was probably the first time I experienced true joy for, you know, a few minutes. And then it was gone. But I hadn't had that feeling like that in years.
You're going to play a little something for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to tell you, you know, that cabaret show has been amazing. Marta Nordahl is incredible. Everybody in that cast and crew.
And it's sold out, and it's going fine.
And I can understand why it is, because it's just a great show. The production is amazing, and the musicians are incredible.
It's a nice
Todd, I don't know how to say his last name correctly, but the musical director.
Þorvaldur Bjarni.
Yes, thanks. He's incredible as well. And it's just been an amazing time. I've been having such a wonderful time.
We're lucky to have you here. Thanks for coming to the show, and thanks for playing.
So much.
Og þannig ætlum við að enda föstudagsþáttinn með nokkrum svona strófum frá Philip. Takk fyrir að horfa, sjáumst eftir viku.